We're counting down the 10 strangest scientific anomalies uncovered by the 3i Atlas Mars flyby. From mysterious disappearances and bizarre chemical clues to record-shattering ways sunlight behaves around this object, each entry pushes the limits of what astronomers thought was possible. Some items hint at natural cosmic oddities, while others spark debates about artificial origins and uncanny cosmic alignments. But what is the single most shocking phenomenon that left experts questioning the laws of physics? Let's begin with number 1, an unprecedented anomaly in how light scatters around 3i Atlas. And finally, in first place, sunlight behaves around 3i Atlas in a way that breaks every rule astronomers thought they knew. When light from the sun strikes the dust cloud surrounding this interstellar visitor, it scatters at angles never seen before. Instead of following the gentle patterns of other comets, the polarization flips sharply negative, measured at a record minus 2.77% near a 6.4-degree phase angle. Engineers double-checked every instrument, recalibrated the Very Large Telescope and Nordic Optical Telescope, and even cross-referenced with standard stars. The readings held steady. For comparison, no solar system comet has ever shown negative polarization this deep. The effect implies dust grains with bizarre structure, maybe even surfaces that act like engineered mirrors. This unprecedented signature is so extreme, it forced scientists to question whether the object's dust is natural at all, or if something stranger is at work just beyond Mars. In second place, the Perseverance rover's Mastcam Z caught something extraordinary in the Martian twilight. On September 30th, 2025, a faint smear appeared in the sky above Jezero crater, just as a regional dust storm swept across the landscape. The streak, barely visible against the orange haze, lined up almost perfectly with predictions for 3i Atlas's trajectory. Mission logs note the timing. The image was captured in the midst of a spike in dust devil activity, recorded by the rover's Meta weather suite. Scientists hesitated to call it a definitive sighting, as cosmic rays and drifting dust can sometimes mimic such marks. Yet the coincidence was hard to ignore. Official image release lagged behind, delayed by a government shutdown, leaving only compressed previews for the public. For now, this is the closest we've come to seeing an interstellar visitor from the surface of another planet. A fleeting trace, caught between Martian winds and cosmic chance. Third on our list, the first images of 3i Atlas showed something almost impossible, a comet with no visible tail, even as it swept closer to the sun. For days, astronomers tracked only a bare, star-like core, breaking every rule in the cometary playbook. Then, without warning, a razor-thin tail emerged, but not in the expected direction. Instead of streaming away from the sun, this tail shot out nearly perpendicular to the solar wind, forming a narrow, ghostly streak across the sky. Imaging timelines place the sudden appearance just after the Mars flyby, with alignment analysis revealing a 90-degree offset from the usual solar orientation. This delayed sideways tail left researchers scrambling for explanations. Electrostatic interactions, unknown dust chemistry, or something even stranger. As the earliest large-scale structural anomaly, it set the stage for deeper puzzles about the object's shape and behavior. Number 4. The shape of 3i Atlas sets it apart from every other interstellar visitor. Its length-to-width ratio is estimated at more than 10:1, a silhouette so stretched it makes Oumuamua's famous cigar form look tame by comparison. As the object tumbles through space, its brightness rises and falls in a rhythmic pattern, much like a lighthouse beam sweeping past. This changing light curve is the only clue astronomers have to its true proportions. Unlike 2i Borisov, which appeared almost perfectly round and comet-like, Atlas refuses to fit any familiar mold. Some researchers describe it as more sculpture than stone, a cosmic artifact rather than a natural wanderer. The sheer extremity of its shape forces a new question. What kind of process could sculpt something so elongated? And why does it echo the oddities of earlier interstellar mysteries? Number 5. The October 3rd, 2025. Close approach of 3I Atlas to Mars opened a rare window for observation. At just 28 million kilometers, roughly 70 times the distance from Earth to the Moon, the object passed closer to Mars than any previous interstellar visitor. This flyby was timed perfectly for a coordinated campaign. NASA's Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, the European Space Agency's Mars Express, and the ExoMars Trace Gas Orbiter all trained their instruments on the sky, hoping to capture high-resolution images and spectra as the comet sped past. Mission planners relied on precise ephemerides, adjusting camera schedules to track the object's rapid movement across the Martian sky. For a brief span, multiple spacecraft recorded data nearly simultaneously, building a layered picture of the comet's structure and behavior. The proximity offered a chance to study an interstellar object up close, just before a solar storm would erase it from view. Number 6. The sudden disappearance of 3I Atlas after a fierce solar storm left astronomers reeling. In late October 2025, a powerful coronal mass ejection erupted from the sun, sending a wave of plasma racing through the inner solar system. Just as the shockwave swept past, the comet's brightness plunged, fading faster than any model predicted. The last confirmed images came from Hubble and the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, each capturing a dim, shrinking trace before silence fell. No telescope, on Earth or in orbit, picked up so much as a glimmer after that day. Mission logs show the timing was almost uncanny. The object's vanishing act lined up almost perfectly with the CME's arrival. Was 3I Atlas destroyed, cloaked, or simply changed beyond recognition? For now, its disappearance remains one of the strangest unsolved chapters in the story of interstellar visitors. Number 7. The chemical composition of 3I Atlas defies every expectation for an interstellar visitor. Spectral fingerprints collected by the Very Large Telescope revealed dust lines that echo the altered basalt and iron oxides found in Martian regolith. In laboratory comparisons, the absorption features match not icy comet tails, but the weathered rocks sampled by Mars rovers, down to traces of perchlorates, the same salts that color the Martian soil. This pattern is so distinct, some researchers argue the dust looks stripped from a planetary surface, rather than formed in deep space. The debate intensifies as each new spectrum confirms the anomaly. The comet's material signature is less like a frozen wanderer and more like the surface of Mars itself. This Martian-like chemistry raises a new puzzle. How could such material travel between stars? And what does it mean for the object's true origin? Number 8. The mass estimate for 3I Atlas has sparked fierce debate among astronomers. The International Mass Working Group released a headline figure, 33 billion tons, making it by far the heaviest interstellar object ever recorded. This number comes from the brightness flux method, tracking how much sunlight the object reflected as it swept past Mars. Yet, internal emails circulated alternate calculations as low as 7 to 10 billion tons, reflecting deep disagreements over how much dust and gas the comet actually released. Despite its massive size, the object's trajectory showed no sign of the usual outgassing jets that nudge comets off course. For many, this paradox is the most unsettling clue yet. How can something so heavy move through the solar system without leaving a gravitational fingerprint or a trail of vapor? The mass controversy now stands at the heart of the mystery, setting the stage for Avi Loeb's coming anomaly framework. Number 9. Avi Loeb's framework reshapes the debate around 3I Atlas. At a packed IAU session, Loeb divided the comet's oddities into two stark columns. On one side, he listed features that might one day find natural explanations. The elongated shape, the timing of the Mars flyby, even the peculiar tail. But in the other column, he He placed the anomalies that defy every familiar model: extreme negative polarization, Martian-like dust chemistry, a mass estimate that strains interstellar statistics, and the absence of cometary outgassing. Loeb's approach doesn't claim answers. It draws a sharp line between puzzles that data might solve and those that hint at something fundamentally new. By stacking the evidence, he invites astronomers to ask whether these patterns are cosmic coincidence or evidence of artificial design. The list grows longer, and the questions grow stranger, setting the stage for the final cosmic alignment. Number 10. The trajectory of 3I Atlas passes within a single degree of the sky region that produced the 1977 WOW signal, a radio burst that has haunted SETI researchers for decades. JPL analysts first noticed the overlap during a late-night data session, overlaying the comet's outbound path against historic radio coordinates. At a SETI conference, the chatter grew. Was this just cosmic chance or a sign of something deeper? Some dismissed the alignment as a fluke, a quirk of orbital mechanics. Others linger on the coincidence, wondering if the universe sometimes leaves breadcrumbs for those willing to look. As the comet fades into the dark, one question remains unanswered. Was its path across the sky just a random crossing, or the last clue in a puzzle that began nearly 50 years ago? Across all 10 entries, the case of 3I Atlas stands as one of the most confounding interstellar mysteries ever ranked. From its record-breaking negative polarization, the strongest ever measured in our solar system, to the final haunting alignment with the 1977 WOW signal, every chapter in this list deepened the puzzle. What ties these moments together is a pattern of physical extremes: a razor-thin delayed tail, a shape more elongated than Oumuamua, a chemical signature matching Martian regolith, and a mass estimate so enormous it strained the limits of comet theory. Even expert frameworks, like Avi Loeb's, placed most anomalies in the deep puzzle category, highlighting how 3I Atlas defies natural explanation at every turn. The ranking criteria focused on measurable, verified anomalies, the kind that force scientists to re-examine what defines an interstellar object. In the end, the list reveals a consistent theme. 3I Atlas breaks the rules we thought we knew. With its vanishing act after a solar storm and its trajectory echoing a famous cosmic signal, one question remains. Was this merely a bizarre comet, or the first true evidence of something far stranger?